Hello there, and how you do? Well, this right here in front of me used to be the Fair Oaks Mall in Columbus, Indiana. Now being redeveloped as the NexusPark. Well, at first I was coming here out of curiosity because I was under the impression that the mall did not exist at all anymore. But to my surprise, I come to find out that there's a bit of the mall corridor that still exists of the Fair Oaks Mall. So, come here to do a little mall tour of what is left of Fair Oaks. And a little bit about the future of the mall, NexusPark, which will be pretty much taking its place. So, here we go. Right next door, you have a Maya Mexican restaurant. We are greeted immediately with all sorts of the wonderful mall plants, floral. Yeah, there's Riviera Maya. Very colorful Mexican restaurant, interiors and such. But yeah, I was absolutely blown away because I did not think that any of this mall existed anymore. I was mostly coming here just to see, like, just a big complex under construction. I didn't think there were still businesses still open inside this mall corridor, and yeah, they're mostly here to stay too. Even new food establishments will be added in the food court area, which you'll see here later. Now, you can't enter here through the Dunham Sports, which just is kind of a staple of dead malls, or the anchor stores kind of just lock themselves off from the mall, unfortunately. Oh, but I love this hallway here. Just the light fixtures, just cool. Very fancy. Now, I'm not sure if these light fixtures were here before the mall. I mean, they could have been. It does scream, NexusPark to me, though. Oh, and you got these. These are wonderful things here. Well, yeah. Already advertising the future of the mall here, the NexusPark. Well, down here, I mean, this is one of the original entrances of the mall here. But yeah, look at this light fixture. Wow. Oh yeah, and if you haven't noticed, yeah, this is in 4K. So, here you go. I will be doing more 4K videos more frequently. This entrance closed during construction. Yeah, and there's the maintenance and security office. Employees only. I think they still have a security? I'm not sure. I didn't really see any security. I saw a lady changing the trash later, you'll see. But no mall security. I don't think that really exists anymore. As when you look at Google Maps, the mall doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah, there's Dunham Sports. In the past, it was actually a Kmart. And to change things up here, I will be looking at the arcade in the middle of the tour and not at the end of the tour, as I usually do in these mall videos. kind of breaking the tradition here. Well, yeah, they got Super Mario Bros. Like the original one. It's pretty cool. And then Chinese mystery boxes. What that entails, I really don't know. And this thing, I really should have tried this out, but I didn't. But I've never seen this before. It's like it's something you punch, like you're punching the guy, you're beating him up. It's yeah, interesting. It's some interesting arcade stuff in here. Get some Fortnite V-Bucks? I don't know. Never played Fortnite, so. But yeah. You got a Terminator Salvation. Damn. Check that out. Oh, wow. Imagine a concussion from getting punched by a Terminator. Dang. I don't really want to think about that. But wow, yeah, check that out. That's cool. Yeah, it's like a fun little arcade. So I imagine, yeah, that's going to probably carry over with the NexusPark. Oh, I'm wandering down the mall corridor here. And we have a Nirvana. This mall has a Nirvana. Let's say they have really left over a lot of the mall plant flora. A lot of mall plants here. And yeah, this right here is one of the parts they've taken out of the mall. And one of the parts of the mall that was taken out, which will be a future part of the NexusPark. And I think this is like the fieldhouse, which is kind of just like a sports complex. And this right here, it used to be the original place for the arcade. So, for all I know, like all those arcade games from before were probably originally were located inside of here. But yet, no more games. This is Carlos Pizza. And this is Lucas Brothers, or Lucas Bros, which is like a sandwich type of restaurant. And unfortunately they were closed at 4 o'clock, so I didn't get to try that. Well, here's one of the new additions coming to NexusPark in February. And it's like just like a coffee stand. And yeah, I love this storefront here. Yeah, this one was really cool. And a very interesting menu there. So it's a pure vegetarian restaurant. So strictly it's a vegetarian type restaurant here. Things I never even heard of in the menu. Yeah, and here's a little information about the future project. Building for a healthy future, or building for a healthy tomorrow. So it's a future lookout of what will be added to the NexusPark in the future. So NexusPark will be a lot of medical facilities, as well as fitness and wellness. So interesting that they'll be keeping a lot of this part of the mall still. And this might be what the mall corridor will look like in the future too. So they might be changing it up here inside of the corridor. So I have to say goodbye to the good old 90s tiles here. Hopefully not the end of the mall plants though. Who knows what the future for those will hold. And what I found really interesting about some of these former stores was that a lot of them were being repurposed as offices and meeting rooms and boardrooms. And of course storage as well. And this part is closed off, unfortunately. But as you can tell from the inside, yeah, like a lot of fair oaks is still intact. And right down on the other side of the corridor is where the Carsons would have been, and JC Penneys. But yeah, check that out. This portion right here is where the majority of the Nexus health facility will be located. So I can't imagine that a lot of this will look like Fair Oaks by the end of the construction. So it might be one of the last times you'd ever get to look at what the mall used to look like right through this window here. And maybe even this corridor too, because it's possible they might be changing that too. But yeah, as you can tell, some of the former stores just been kind of repurposed for storage. And this was a former Creative Eyes eyebrow threading. And this right here is a former Christopher and Banks. This one was really interesting. Because, as you can tell, it's just like now it's just a kind of like a meeting room that they changed it into. And probably a hiring area too. One of the signs I saw nearby was advertising that they were hiring for construction. And Fair Oaks was still open around COVID time. As you can tell, throughout the mall, there were still many of those unforgettable arrows in the floor dictating you of which direction you need to be going to. And this is the future home of the Mother Bear's Pizza, coming in spring of next year. Yeah, too bad I didn't get to try the subs there. I was about to get a melt there, but yeah, they closed at 4 o'clock, unfortunately. Yeah, and these Riviera Mayas are always so colorful inside, just the decorations and... yeah, always such a fun little Mexican restaurant. Yeah, still has a Nirvana. And still has a Boost mobile kiosk. And yeah, there's a view of Dunham's. And so yeah, that is Fair Oaks Mall. Now NexusPark in the making. Well, I was definitely surprised by how much was left of the Fair Oaks Mall. But if you're ever in the neck of the woods, yeah, go check it out. And plenty of new things coming to the NexusPark here in the future. So it'd be interesting to see. Right over here is, yeah, that's what is under construction now. Yeah, well, thank you for joining me on this little tour of what's left of Fair Oaks Mall in Columbus, Indiana. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you all later. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I do plenty of malls, dead malls, even malls in Europe. Do abandoned places. Plenty of road trips, such as Route 66. Checking out roadside oddities and much, much, much more. This has been Corey, Dashborderless. I'll see you all later.